Hey everyone, it's Melanie here from Bright House Scents, and I have another numbers video to share with you today. So in my last video, I dove into how much did I spend on Scentsy last year. In general, I want to rein in my spending on wax, but I was like, I'm so interested to see how much did I actually spend on Scentsy last year. And I love Scentsy wax, so I knew it was a lot, but I didn't realize how much it really was. So, yeah, then somebody commented on my video and was like, I wonder how much you've spent since you've been with Scentsy, or wouldn't it be interesting to see how much you've spent since the beginning? And I was like, I don't even want to know. But then I was like, actually, I do want to know, and I'm gonna pull the numbers. So I pulled these numbers yesterday. It took me a long while to go through because I started with Scentsy as a consultant in 2013. And, I've placed lots of orders. Some of these orders are customer orders, or some are mine, or in some of these orders, I would have used credits that I would have had from a previous month's commission, and I would have applied that to the order. So I wanted to pull the numbers of everything that I spent out of pocket. So these numbers will include anything I spent on a club shipment, or anything I spent on an order for myself, or anything I spent on a flash sale, or the $12 that it costs for me to have my website. And I've gone through bouts with Scentsy where I haven't had the website. I just haven't been paying that $12. It kind of depends. So it took me a while to pull the numbers, but I did. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna share them. I mean, why not? We already dove in. Let's do the deep dive, right? So I have been a consultant since 2013. I'm gonna share with you how much I have spent every year. I'm gonna break it down, and then I'm gonna give you the grand total. The grand total is so insane. It's insane. And I'm like, oh my gosh, in my mind, I do keep track of how much I'm spending, or so I thought I did, right? I'll know in my mind, okay, my club cost this, and I spent this much in a flash sale, and I'll, keep general track of it. And it's I use the product. I love it. I warm wax every single day. I work from home. I'm home all day, every day, and I warm wax every single day. So it's I'm not spending in vain. I love what I'm spending on, and I use it all the time. It's not like I have wax just sitting there going bad or anything. I warm through it. But nonetheless, even still, the total number is so ridiculous that I'm like, okay, no, I gotta make changes. So I'm gonna break it down for you. So 2013, the year that I started with Scentsy, I spent $900. 2014, I spent $3,285. So from $900 in the very first year to $3,285. Now, sure, I was probably buying more warmers and stuff like that when I first started with Scentsy. Over the last few years, I don't really buy warmers as much now. It's mostly wax, but nonetheless, this is a lot of this is wax. Okay, 2015, $4,489. 2016, $4,200. $4,200. 2017, I reined it in 2017, $1,900 compared to $4,200 the year before. 2017, I reined it in to $1,900. 2018 was a year that I didn't purchase any Scentsy for myself. I still placed orders for customers, but I cut my website. I didn't have my website going, and I didn't personally buy anything Scentsy. No warmers, no wax, no nothing, because I had so much wax. So in 2018, I warmed through my entire wax stash. Everything I had in my stash, I warmed through until I was down to no more Scentsy bars in my stash. So I spent no money, not a single dollar in 2018, not a single order for me. So yeah, I used all my wax. So then 2019, I was like, okay, well, all my wax is gone. Let me start my purchasing again. And I did. So 2019, I spent $1,341. 2020, $3,510. 2021, $4,427. 2022, $5,365. 2023, I reined it in again. I reined it in a little bit. I mean, I didn't rein it in that much, but I reined it in a little bit from the previous years. $2,200 in 2023. I'm like, thought I was spending $2,200 every year. No, I'm up in the $4,000 and $5,000. 2024, which was last year, I shared this number already in my previous video, $5,766. So in 2024, I spent the very most I've ever spent on Scentsy ever. In 2018, I spent nothing. And then the very least amount that I've spent outside of 2018 spending nothing was when I first started as a consultant. In 2013, I spent $900. Okay, are you ready for the grand total of everything that I have spent on Scentsy from 2013 to the end of 2024? So this is what, 11 years. 11 years that I've been with Scentsy. In 11 years, I have spent $37,383. I have no words. I have no words. So in my last video, a lot of people were like, hey, no judgment, right? And I appreciated that. It was so nice. It was so refreshing. We have a really great wax community and people are so supportive. And I appreciated that people were like, hey, you spent a ton in 2024, no judgment over here. You're allowed to judge now. You could judge. All you need to do is put an exclamation in the comments and I'm gonna be like, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I'm gonna respond with 3 exclamations. Oh my gosh, $37,000 that I have spent on Scentsy. Okay, so why am I going here? Why am I reevaluating all of a sudden how much I'm spending and what I'm, like what my numbers are and that type of thing? First and foremost, I've always thought that I've been keeping track in my mind, but clearly I haven't, not to the degree that I thought I was. And, Scentsy recently made some changes that do impact consultants and customers too. And, one of the changes really bothered me. They're changing the commission structure. And one of them I was kind of like, this bothers me. And it all sucks. The changes are not good in general, but I get that, a business has to make changes and I'm here for it. It's fine. Every business has to make changes. Businesses have to increase prices and all that. One of the changes, which was to the commission structure for consultants, I was like, I don't really like that. And I'm a Scentsy consultant, so it would impact me, but I don't run this as a business. None of this is for business. This is like me. These numbers are like how much wax I use. Like, this is me. Okay. So I don't run Scentsy as a business in any way. I use the discount just so that I can spend less. Cause like, imagine what these numbers would have been if I wasn't a consultant, if I wasn't getting discounts and if I wasn't getting commission and then being able to apply commission to my next orders, right? So, but even still, even though I don't run this as a business, the commission structure is changing and, I didn't like the way Scentsy rolled that out. I didn't like the communication on that. I didn't like how they scrambled afterwards when they realized like, ooh, there's a bit of an uproar here. Maybe we should talk about this. Like, maybe our CEO needs to jump on a Zoom call and like discuss these changes because people are not happy. So I just think like things could have been done differently. And that was the trigger that made me look at, what am I actually spending? And I love Scentsy wax and I'm going to continue to purchase Scentsy wax. And I don't foresee a world where I'm not doing that. I really love Scentsy and I like the way the wax performs for the most part in my house. And there's a lot of favorite scents. But what I am reevaluating is how much of my money do I want to give to Scentsy? And first of all, I'm reevaluating how much do I spend on wax? Like that number needs to be cut down by like 75%. Like not even just in half. I need to cut that number down by like 75%. But then I'm like, well, how much do I want to give to Scentsy? Because if Scentsy doesn't want to take the care to roll out changes the best way possible and show care for people, then for me, I don't want to give them as much of my money. I just don't. That's just how I feel about it. So, and I spoke about this in a couple of videos back. Feel free to go back and check that out. But yeah, so that's kind of like why I initially was like, let me dive into what I'm actually spending, what I've spent and all that kind of stuff. So then I was like, okay, well now that I know how much I've spent, which is insane. I know. Put the exclamation in the comments. I know. You judge me. You could feel I allow you to place the judgment because this is insane and I'm judging me. I'm like, girl, what have you been doing? What is happening? And like, I thought I was tracking this in my mind, but I guess I wasn't. Okay, so then after I looked at all the numbers, I was like, how much wax do I actually have? Because I could do a whole nother year of not purchasing Scentsy and still have enough wax to warm through the whole entire year. But I don't want to do that. I like to purchase new collections. I love to do reviews on my channel and like go through the sniff sessions and warm things and see how they perform. Like, I enjoy those things. So I'm not going to not purchase at all, but I need to rein it in big time. So I'm like, let me look at how much wax I actually have. So I broke it down into categories. First and foremost, I thought that I had about 200 bars in my wax stash. Now, at the beginning of January, when Scentsy launched the Bring Back My Bar, I did place a massive order. I really stocked up on a few of these new faves. So I'm not surprised to see the number that's here. And it's not even that excessive. And I know you're gonna hear the number and you're gonna be like, girl, it is so excessive. But like for me and how much I warm through, it's not that excessive. It's still excessive, but it's not as extreme as like the numbers of how much I spent. So we're gonna go through how much wax I have, and I've broken it down into different categories, ranging from wax that like I don't like, I can't warm, all the way up to the loves of my life. Okay, so let's start with the number of Scentsy bars that I have that I can't warm. I mean, like, I dislike these Scentsy bars. Some of these might have come in bundles where I bought the bundle because there was other bars I liked, but these bars I can't warm. And I have tried to warm all of them because I try to give every Scentsy bar like a chance and just see if it, changes on warm or whatever. So I have 9 bars in my collection that I cannot warm. They're as good as garbage to me, like I just cannot. Then the next category is indifferent. So I can warm it, but I'm like, meh, I never need to smell this again. But it also isn't gross. It's just like, I'll toss a cube in my bathroom, or I'll put this like in my basement on a day I'm not really gonna be down there. I'm pretty indifferent to it, and like I wouldn't repurchase it, So I have 10 bars like that. Then the next category is I enjoy it, but I wouldn't repurchase it. So I'm gonna really enjoy it while it's going, but I would not repurchase these bars. I have 40 bars like that. Then the next category is I enjoy it and I would repurchase it, but it's not necessarily like a love of my life, because the last category is love. So I have 101 Scentsy bars that I enjoy and I would repurchase, but they're not necessarily like the loves of my life. I don't have to put them in a Scentsy club or anything like that, but thoroughly enjoy them while I have them, and when they come back, I do repurchase them. Now the love category. These are bars that I love. Like if there was no limit to my Scentsy club, I would have, these are the bars that would be in my Scentsy club. I love them. These are bars that I have stacks of. Like I might have 15 of the same bar, like banana nut bread, for example. It's in Bring Back My Bar right now. You can get it right now. It's awesome. I love it. I've loved it since the very beginning of Scentsy, and I think I have like 20 something bars, right? Or maybe not quite, but anyway, somewhere in between that area. And I just recently stocked up on it, and I had it in my Scentsy club. So for the loves, the bars that I love and adore, I have 164 Scentsy bars. So for a grand total of 324 Scentsy bars that are currently in my stash. Now, that does not include bricks. I have 15 Scentsy bricks that are in my stash as well. So 324 bars plus 15 Scentsy bricks. That's more than enough for me to warm through an entire year of Scentsy, a year plus, not just a year, even more than a year, not make another purchase, and love every second of my home being like smelling amazing, right? So I could go through 2025 without making any purchases, but that's just not realistic for me. I need to set like a realistic goal of how much am I gonna spend? What am I gonna spend it on? So what I did is I canceled both of my Scentsy clubs, and I've decided I'm just gonna purchase some of the new collections that come out. If they intrigue me, I'm gonna try them, see if I find some really great bars, and then if I you know, if I love them, I'll stock up on a few of them and then just keep it moving on to the next scent, as opposed to holding on to the scents that I love, right? Because someone made a comment in my last video and I so appreciated this. She broke down like the psychology of scent. And she was like, you know, it releases like hormones and it gives you that feel good feeling. And then you get like addicted to it, right? And then it's like that fear of losing the scent. And then, you know, boom, the club is 10 bars, the club is 20 bars, the club is 30 bars, because like, what if they don't bring this back? What if? And then it's like that fear. And she broke down the psychology of it. And I was like, yes, you know, you don't think about the psychology of scent. I mean, I have tons of scent memories with lots of scent. So, you know, I know that there's a connection there, but sometimes it's good to be reminded. So I decided that what I'm going to do going forward is I'm going to enjoy what's out and what's available, and then move on to the next scent. There's always going to be another scent that I love, as opposed to holding on too tightly to the scents that I love and adore. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I think I spend a lot of money on these scents that I adore, because I'm like, well, what if I can't have them again, or whatever it is, right? And a little bit of that fear creeps in, a little bit of that like addiction creeps in, and I don't want that. That's not what I'm going for. So my strategy is going to be to not hold on as tight. And, you know, right now, if there's a scent that I love, I'll stock up and buy like 20 bars of it. I'm going to be like, you know what? Let me get 5 or 6 bars. Let me love it for what it is, and then progress forward, keep it moving. That's just for me, you know, just because like I obviously need to make some changes, because we know. So I thought it would be interesting to share this and just to, you know, show you these numbers. And I thought it was interesting that it's like, I'm not even running this as a business. Like, this is just for me. So, you know, and that's how much I've spent on Scentsy. So it's really something to reevaluate for me. So I hope that this was interesting for you, and I would love to know, you know, if you're making some changes, what your strategies are going to be for how much you're spending and all that kind of fun stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.